Hey, it's me, Thothmark, back again with another presentation. Since it's December here in America, Christmas, and connections with starseeds or aliens or whatever, I'm presenting to you what I have come to a conclusion about so far, or what I've thought about. So, cosmic connections, the person referred to as Christ was Pleiadian starseed. Fucus is a sign aligned to galactic center, astrological alignments for the birth of Christ. What are the true meanings of Christmas for us today? The Testaments or ancient scriptures have been manipulated from empires, Roman empires, to control populations. So, as the link above shows on the top of the video, top right, there's information or there's strong connections between Christianity and Hinduism with Jesus or Yeshua and Krishna. It's funny how Krishna sounds like Christ. No, Krishna, there's similar sounds there. And, I personally believe the soul that came down and became a Pleiadian hybrid with humans was Krishna in the past. And if you look at the age transitions from Aries to Pisces or from Taurus to Aries, there's a close connection in those specific years of transition where Krishna was there for the transition from Taurus to Aries, and from Aries to Pisces was Yeshua or Jesus. And, they both had a sacred feminine that was inverted and perverse to where you would have hate or fear or not want anything to do with the truth, because you've been manipulated into believing the opposite of what was really true. So I've gone over this before in another video with the Ophiuchus and Scorpio and the Galactic Center. Links in the top right if you want to go watch that. So this year, December 18th, is when when we leave Ophiuchus into Sagittarius, according to the Earth aligning with the Sun, and then to the astrological signs. Now, some people are like, oh, you can only see Ophiuchus in the Arctic Circle. You know why that is? It's because Ophiuchus shows up during the day for Western cultures. It also is, well, because if you remember, I showed you, we're only aligned with the bottom 3 stars of Ophiuchus, and with Scorpio, you're only aligned with the top 3 stars of Scorpio. So, when they make claims like that, it's just another inversion of or manipulation of the truth, where they're not showing you the big picture. They're drawing conclusions and making connections, but then they don't actually show you, the reality. Like I have with the Solar Scope program, where you can see the planets and the solar system and the galaxy. I'll show you now. All right, so here we are. So here's Earth, and there's the Sun. Settings on. Here's Ophiuchus. Here's Scorpio. See? Remember I told you there's 1, 2, 3 stars. Okay. Like here's 1, 2, 3 stars of Scorpio. Alright. So here's the Arctic Circle on top of Earth, right? So that's why they say you can only see it, because look. But you can see the bottom 3 stars. You can see these stars, right? If you were looking at the night sky and the right time of the year, you'd be able to see those. Same with Scorpio. You can only see Scorpio, all this down here, if you're on the South Pole, right? And, you know, see, that's what I'm saying. They're like drawing conclusions and making connections to where it's like, oh, what they did was they inverted and reversed what Ophiuchus stands for. They took out the man part and they put it in a rod, and they only have the serpent. Okay, that's what the agenda of the Dark Alliance does. They invert, they take control of the truth and manipulate to where their truth is the only truth. There is no other truth. Okay? So, just because they're showing you how they perceive it and what they believe in, like, you know, when I say they, I'm talking about the dark, the evil, the manipulators, the money funders, the bankers, the Illuminati, whatever you want to call all that. They're telling you what they have done with the truth in reality, and they've cut out certain things so they can see it how they want to see it. But if you reverse engineer everything that they've done, you will really see the truth, okay? You can't just say, oh, well, this is what they've done, so that means it's evil. Like, no, guys. Okay? You can't draw conclusions based off their reality. You have to reverse engineer their reality, their perceptions, their truth. Something I discovered here was really cool is the grid here. Galactic grid. Look, I can zoom out. See the grid? The grid is these purple lines. This one right here is the galactic center. Here, let's go back in. So Ophiuchus isn't exact, but look, the center is actually Sagittarius. See that? Boom. See, look, I'll show you again right here. Line. There it is. That's the galactic. See, look, galactic line. Equatorial line is this green line up here. Ecliptic line. So that's where they cross, right above Sagittarius. There's the our directions of the Earth. Southwest Sea. That's okay. Let's go back to the grid. What I was going to show you. It's our solar system. (100 AUs) is the solar system. I wonder how they came up with that. Because here's the Kuiper Belt. Makes it extremely difficult to travel to our solar system. It's like a barrier or a wall, or travel out of our solar system. So we have to but look, here's the galaxy. We are on the Orion Spur. A lot of the other star systems that Sirius, Pleiades, or even some of the stars that people point out are still on the Orion Spur. Look at how much more there is in the galaxy. That's just the galaxy, guys. It's not even the universe. There's many other galaxies. So I just wanted to show you, when we look at and see stars, we're only seeing our little region of the galaxy. We can't even see some of these other stars. because they're just too far away. So yeah, right now, December 12th. Look at that. Still in Ophiuchus. Alright, so as we leave Ophiuchus, it references the end of the conclusion of a year, because of December 18th. So I don't think our years are very accurate to our cosmic galactic connections. So I tend to think the end of a year is probably Ophiuchus, and that the Sagittarius is actually the start of a year, because it's the hero's journey. It's the beginning. It's the taking aim. Or I could be thinking about it wrong, and that Ophiuchus is actually the boss battle kind of thing, or the final chat, the climax, and that Sagittarius is the actual kill, taking the, finishing off the final boss, or finding that the prey and taking aim and taking shot. And so Sagittarius is actually the end of the hero's journey, where you get what you were looking for and you bring it back to your family or your tribe or whatever. So it's either the start or the end. Either way, it's pretty much could be both. Could be the start and the end. Where we could take where we see where we're headed, like as a start, where we're going, because now that we're done, we're going. We know our way back. We know where to go. Or it could be we finished. We're done. But anyways, there's some kind of hero's journey connection there with that, and the connection. There's biblical astronomy of the birth of Christ or Yeshua. There are those who say, hey, according to astrological calculations and where the stars and the planets are, right here, see 7 BC triple conjunction of Jupiter Saturn marking the actual time of Jesus' birth, September 15th. But there's also potential of from the 3 BC to 2 BC, which would be closer to our years and why we say before Christ. So either way, there is let's see, conjunction in Pisces. It's the Sun and Mercury and Gemini and Venus and Cancer. Pisces. So May 27th could be another option. Either way, there is obviously some kind of astronomy in with the whole Jesus story. A lot of people say, oh, Christmas is about Jesus' birth. That may be the original, or not the original, but the start or the creation of Christmas, which is Christian Mass, right? But I think today it's mostly in reference to family, generosity, festival type in atmosphere, preparing for the year to come, getting you gifts that, hey, this will help you out. This is what you were looking for. This is what you needed. All right, here's some more toys to play with, or all kinds of here you go. Let's get ready for the next year, right? And having gratitude and cherishing valuable things to us, right? It gets perverse and it gets twisted and all that other stuff, but the intention, the original essence or the foundation of it all is what you really care about, right? Your family, and giving to those people that you care about, and spending time with them and eating, and that's why I said festive, right? And preparing for the year. Here's I got you this because I know you needed a new one, or I know that you really like this, or you were really wanting this because it's going forward with your life. So, that goes back to the transition of Sagittarius, right? The hero's journey. So, empires have always tried to control populations, and nobody's going to deny that. There's a massive movement. Okay, so, and also, there's a link above that to another video that gets into why Constantine or why the Romans have created the Jesus Christ thing, because guess what? His name wasn't Jesus, right? They didn't call him Christ. And I don't think they did. They called themselves Christians at the time of the Roman Empire prior to Constantine. Because you got to think of what the word Christ, Christianity, where that comes from. Christo, Roman stuff. Krishna, okay. The Romans traversed the world and knew all religions and stuff. They were a global empire. They knew all kinds of things. So what's the whole thing of Romans were trying to do? Become the global empire and take over the world. And they've always been doing this, whether you call them Romans, whether you call them, they don't care what their name is. The bloodlines, the senates, the senators, the governments, those who infiltrate the powers that control have always had an agenda to control, to build a global empire. And it wasn't easy, obviously, and it took them thousands of years. But here we are today, right? So, as the video shows that I linked up on the top right, there are, and there always has been, there will be maybe, unless we change it, the inversion, conversion, perversion, transitions of all things to control and turn the truth into what they want the truth to be. And the truth is, they're going to say and do whatever it takes. They'll tell you whatever you want to hear, as long as you do and act the way or correlate to a certain behavior, right? They're like, all right, fine, you can have your little churches and whatnot, and you can translate, but guess what? We'll infiltrate your churches, and we'll have people, and they'll, we know how to pick and choose them, and they'll be your preachers, and they'll do horrendous things behind your closed doors and behind your backs. They'll act certain ways. They'll say whatever they need to say to keep you coming back and paying that 10%, even though you're paying more than that in taxes. Because guess what? The original intention was to put money together as a tribe for a rainy day, not for some dude to be rich and have his nice house while you're struggling in the apartment. Okay? That's what I was trying to ultimately get at, is that we have to re-engineer or reverse engineer everything that we've been told. So just because you find associations or correlations with their behaviors or their beliefs or their rituals or their ceremonies or their award shows, and you're like, oh, look, see, there's a symbol. Well, guess what? That symbol comes from something, and that symbol is a perverse, inverted version of the truth, the reality, the good. Good is bad and bad is good. See what I'm saying? Everything's in reverse. Everything's upside down. That's their culture. That's what they do. And then you hate and fear anything that they have taken control of. So they take control of, let's say, you make a beautiful piece of art. They take control of it, and they start inverting it and reversing it and they're like, oh, well, now this means what we want it to mean. And, the original art by you was good, and it meant something completely opposite of what they've turned it into. And now everybody fears and hates what you've made, even though that was not your intention. and they have perversed it into their dark agenda, and they're like, oh, look, see, now it's great and blah blah blah, but it's not really great. They've, just like musicians experience this stuff. So if you really know the truth of how they behave, you can't come to the conclusion that everything that they're showing you doesn't have some original, like, people downplay or hate, or they're scared or fear clowns. I'm like, guys, yes, clowns have become something that they have turned into as dark or evil or whatever. But originally, if you go to the Native Americans, like the Hopi, the Lakota or Dakota tribe, they had sacred clowns that were actually empaths, and they had ways of excuse me, they had ways of helping you see things in another way so that you can rise above it, you can heal, you can move on from. They were the original psychologists, pretty much, or therapy people. So, and they've perverse and inverted that as well. So there's a habit to just want to jump to conclusions and say, oh, it's all evil and it's all bad. But like, no, that's what Christians do with all kinds of stuff. That's what all kinds of religion behaviors do with all kinds of stuff. And is it really true? Not really. So I just want you to think about all that. And that was my presentation for December 12/12/21. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.